Okay, hello everyone and welcome and thank you for joining us for another Master Lock style class. And here we have our guest Willem Ackermans with us again today, which is just lovely. And it's great to see you again. Let's begin. We're going to salute. So we'll salute the teachers first. Lao Ha. Students, Xue Sam Ha. Okay. And we're going to actually go through all of Master Lock's work today that we have covered. So that means 7 stars in rotations, Qigong, then the Phoenix in graceful clouds of blessing, Tai Chi Qigong form, and then finally the 7 stars in rotations, Tai Chi form. So yeah, we've got a lot to do today, so we better get on with it. I'm just wondering, what do you think of the light? I think it's a bit harsh with the overhead. Let's see what it's like. Yeah, I think that's maybe a wee bit better. What do you say? Yeah. Okay, so let's begin. Yeah, all right. So shoulder width and level, please. Do you know what? No, let's just take a moment in Wuji. Can we bring our heels together and our toes just a little bit apart? So this is your preparation for any Tai Chi or Qigong. We lengthen up through the top of the head, the chin slightly down and back, and we just take a few moments to calm and breathe. Listening behind you. And as you do that, I'm going to check the microphone. Yeah, good. Okay, so let's bring the awareness back to the space. Gently, slowly open your eyes and let's open to shoulder width and level. So our feet are no longer turned out. We're looking for parallel if possible. And we continue Wuji. So we check posture and release, relax down through the body. Now we could do standing practice at this stage. In fact, we're doing standing practice. We could add the arms. Master Lock just encourages us to stand like this, and you could stand for up to half an hour before you move. In that time, you simply listen, feel, and let go to the internal world, to the external world, letting go. Let's find all 10 fingers, gently press them down. For now, we're going to begin with open door 5. Are we ready? And Let's do another circle. Pressing down and away. Into movement 2 of 7 stars, we're going to roll. I think of this as rolling pastry, filling the back and releasing. Good, and now let's rotate. Let's change direction. Now we used a fancy technique to change direction, which is to draw an S shape. Of course, it could be in either direction, but if you get confused about that, you can just change direction. Good. Let's turn the palms and draw in. Floating up, relaxing those shoulders, expand, and we do a similar move, level with the chest. Changing direction. Let's come back to center. Let's open the hands and take a deep breath and gather into the forehead, pointing to the eyebrow corners and point down the face and neck, opening at the collarbone and point the fingers into the lines of the body, turning the palms and pointing around the feet, up the back of the legs and around the waist, and relax to center. Let's take a moment to find the quiet inside, allowing the body to release and relax. Good, and we'll repeat that move. Ready? We open. Down. And around. Relaxing to center. One more set, please. Ready? And now I perceive that as a powerful lymphatic, how would you say, cleanse. So it does require a little bit of rest after each set. Remember that stillness is part of Tai Chi. So give yourself that moment, give yourself that stillness. And then we release and we go into our little rotation of center. This is a centering movement. You can do it on its own to help with stomach and spleen. And I would encourage you to do this wee exercise every time you have a chance. If you're thinking, I'd like to do a little bit of Tai Chi now, do this. Because if the spleen is in balance, the whole body stands a really good chance of health. I heard a Taoist medicine person recently saying 90% of all ailments and issues are the result of an imbalance in stomach and spleen. That's quite the claim. So this exercise is golden. Do this. Good. Okay, Willem, would you mind showing the back view, please? And we're going to turn to your left. So here we're going to do our choo-choo train. This is the dragon. And we're going to start at the base of the spine and feel the way up vertebrae by vertebrae. Very useful, by the way, if you have a bit of arthritis in your back. Just gently loosening and releasing, focusing your awareness into your spine at the level of your hands. And we're walking up the spine, little at a time, one vertebrae at a time if you can. And just being aware. And you'll notice that it feels like the movement is in that vertebrae. Even though you're just gently rocking left and right, you'll feel the release, the energetic. It's almost like a massage. Feeling up the neck, so we keep the top of the head lengthening up, the chin slightly down. So you're really having lots of room to feel into each little vertebrae of the neck. We reach the base of the spine and we step to the side and we flip the toes. We flip the hands, we come underneath the arm and along. To make a circle, turn the palms and gently ease everything forwards and down. We bring the back hand in underneath and stretch the ball out and turn the ball to step forwards. Squish it down and expand. So this is your phoenix to the south. We release the back foot, come in and step forwards. Squish it down and expand. Good. Release and flow up and over. Come in and step back. Release, come up and over. So we complete both sides and step open. Flipping the toes to, again, to your left. Turning the waist, swing the arms around and look over your shoulder towards the back foot. Pushing your hands away from your center. And release, lasso the top hand, flip the toes and to the other side and turn, look over your shoulder and push your hands away. Good, we return to center. Cross the hands, make sure the feet are parallel and whatever width you're at, that's the width the hands are going to as well. As we sit back and down, we stretch through the curve of the arms, forwards into the hands, filling the back. So like the turtle stretching its neck out of its shell, keep the chin slightly down, fill your back like the curve of the shell and release. Good. And we turn now again to your front left. And you can go to the corner. Okay, so now we're on to movement 5. The 5 elements we start with, gold. Okay, so we grab and step through. rock back towards your back foot, roll up, step, grab same side, footless hand, and step through. Then we block, front hand over, step the front foot back and pierce with your fingers and straighten the front foot. Again, block, step back and pierce. Now we go into the wood element. We cycle and take half a step with the back foot. Stretch, you're in your choo-choo train position again, and cycle, step front foot, half step with the back foot. We'll do that again. Step, forwards, half step with the back foot. Good. Turn. So now you're going to your west. We block, and the other hand comes in front of the heart, presses forwards, half step, and a rise. I know that looks very confusing, but I'm doing front view, Willem's doing back view. Slide down and step, back foot, block, and press. So follow Willem if you're confused. Slide down and again, block, and step. Good, so that's your fire element. We turn to the front and scoop, and scoop, and scoop, and scoop, and come in. Lovely. And I would like to do movement 5 again, and we'll all do the same thing, because as soon as we turn sideways, it's very confusing. So let's all do it together, and we'll start front left. Ready? So we turn, and we step, and step through, roll back, hug, and lift. Step, and step through. We block. So that was gold, this is water. Step back and pierce. Block, step back and pierce. Cycle, half step, stretch, full step, stretch, half step, stretch. Let's do it again, full step, stretch. Keep leading with the left. Half step, turn, we step and block, and in front of the heart we rise. Good, sliding down, step, block, in front of the heart, rise. Sliding down one more time, step, block, and rise. Good, turn to the front and scoop, and scoop, and scoop. Bring the left side in. Good, now we're going to do that again. We step to the side and scoop. We're on to movement 6, and we'll all do it together. 2, 3, and 4. Now we're going to turn. So we swing the arms under to go up, step through, and open left. Back the way you came. We lift, turn the toes in, step back and swing. Turn on the heel, swing the arms up, step through, and open, and we keep turning and step to martial flowers. We cross hands and circle, cross hands and circle, or rather cross the wrists. Good, now you can just do it like this, or you can add steps. So let's add some steps. So we always cross over the front leg. So we step and cross over, step and cross over, and let's step back and cross over the front leg, step back, cross over the front leg, turn, and let's go without stepping first, just to get the feel. Good, and then we're going to begin to step, step, cross over the front leg, step, cross over the front leg, stepping back, over the front leg, step back, over the front leg, return to center, take a breath. You can bring your feet together here. Very well done. So that was movement 6. Relax down. I'm just going to close the door, folks, because there's a wee bit of family sound. Good. All right. So now we're going to do our movement 7, which is what the form is named after, 7 stars in rotations. Not sure if you can see that pop up. Probably not, but I'll just close it. Good. Okay, so yeah, we're going to do it facing each other. We're walking round in a circle. This is Bagua training. Yeah, okay. Be a wee bit closer. Ready? We lengthen up. Chin slightly down and back. Relax down. Find your fingers. Lengthen them down. We scoop. And we bring the right hand under. Then the left hand under and push the heel out. And the lower hand, the left hand, sweeps up towards the center of the circle and step. So we're a bit far away from each other, but anyway, we'll sort it. So we take 8 steps round. The front foot is your first step. Off you go. 1, 2, 3, halfway, 4. Keep going. 5, 6, 7, 8, and turn in. There's your hug ball. Release your right hand, release your left foot. Off you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and rest. Take a breath. We rest level with the waist. So this is another way to bring your energy to center. Relax your shoulders, relax your elbows, feel into your center, and then point to the floor, and we can close left. Very nice. Okay, good. So you can do a wee heel tap. Excellent. Now, I don't know about you, but my circle walking feels a bit rusty. But that's okay. We did it. That's the main thing. So circle walking is an entire, what's the word? System all on its own. So for Tai Chi people to be a bit rusty with circle walking, it's only to be expected because we're not spending our entire lives walking around in circles. So there are those who all of their movements are based around the 8 steps round in a circle. So practice by all means. And you know, you have to go by how you feel. So if you have a bit of arthritis or if it's a bit painful, then moderate your practice. I'm noticing as I get a little older, I'm a little bit creaky, a little bit of arthritis is creeping in there. So it wasn't painful, but it wasn't the easiest move for me to do. So you have to gauge what feels right for you on the day. Yeah, I wish I had started really seriously doing Bagua back when I started doing Tai Chi, and maybe I might have made headway with it. But one system is plenty for a lifetime, to be honest. In fact, you know, sometimes it feels like you're just scratching the surface. And I remember when Master Locke first came to give Willem and I some guidance in his system. And I remember him saying to us, "Oh, it's okay, you know, you're just beginners." And we looked at each other like we've been doing this 20 years. So, but yeah, we were beginners in his system, so you know, it takes time. Okay, so you've had a wee break. If you want, you can have a wee drink, and then we will move on for now to the Phoenix form. So I think it's really nice to do all 3 forms. Of course, you could just stick with one on any given day. Cheers. And that's very good too. You know, you can be a jack of all trades and master of none. So if we can just stick at one form and do it again and again, that's very good too. But it's nice to just keep them all in our body memory at the same time. So some days it's good to just be very focused on one, and some days we can have a go at all of them. So today is the jack of all trades day. Okay, Phoenix, right, would you like to do back view again, and I'll do front view? Okay, lovely. So here we are. Let's prepare. So as Willem has his back to us, we're actually going to use Willem's speed to set the pace, and I'll follow. So a moderate pace, please, Willem. We lengthen up through the top of the head, the chin slightly down and back, and we come down. Ready? And close. Yeah. Well done. And recover. So we'll just do the one side today, I think. Let's not get our brains completely in a twist. I did the mirror image there, so I've done my reverse side, but how did you find it, Will? Is it okay? Good. If there's any questions, I saw a thumbs up briefly there, which is great. If there's any questions, do please jump in and ask. But other than that, I think we'll maybe go on to do our Immortals now. Okay, so again, I think we might tag team it and just do it one at a time. Willem, are you happy to do it the first time through? Okay, so let's have a go at the Immortals. And I'll try and find a way to get off screen.
Getting ready. Find your spots. Make sure you have plenty space in either corner. lengthen up, calm down. Find all 10 of the fingers. Pressing down. Begin. Right hook, turn in the right foot. Step out, change hands. And empty stance, change hands. And do one knee at a time. Left knee. And right side.
Beautiful. It's a very elegant form. And we are elegant people doing the form, aren't we elegant? Okay, so what I'd actually like to do is the end section again from Fishing Toad. And the reason being, because the form actually moves quite a bit forwards at that stage. And I always think, even when I'm doing it or when Willem's doing it, we're kind of becoming a disappearing dot as we do it. So I thought we would do it again, just that section. And I'll do it starting very close to the camera. So we'll both do it. And as we progress, then if Willem is too far away, or is getting so small that it's difficult to see, then I'll be closer to you. So I'm going to start practically on top of the camera, and we'll, the form does progress down the room. Would that be an idea?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So we'll start from our Immortals fishing toad. So sorry for the closeness. Okay, ready?
Where do you want me?
Yeah, where you are. Just, yeah. Okay, isn't that right? Yeah. Okay. So, ready, and again, we'll just do the standing version. Good. And pause. Excellent. Okay, lovely. Well, we have about 20 minutes left. And it's funny, last night I was having a go trying to play my favourite piece of music on the piano. It's Bach's cello concerto number. Cello prelude. I love it. It's really lovely. It's very complex. And I'm not a musician. I'm just dabbling and struggling. And Willem said to me, rather than trying to do the whole lot badly, you're not doing very well and you're actually getting worse rather than better. Why not just take small sections at a time and repeat, 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 and try and get to grips with them a bit better and get the flow with them a bit better, and then add bits on. And I did that for a while, and I did get pretty exhausted and gave up eventually, but it was a good idea. And I'm thinking it might actually be an idea to apply the same principle with this form. So we're all getting through it, and you're doing very well. But a little bit like me playing the piano. I thought I was quite good, actually. I'm not, I don't think I was as bad as Willem was, was suggesting, but I was, yeah, not as good as a musician, yeah. But I think it's actually quite a nice idea. Why don't we do that with this form, that we'll just take little sections and repeat. So maybe we'll take little sections and repeat each little section 3 times, and that'll get us through our time rightly. And then maybe at the end we string it all together again. Does that sound like a plan? Yeah, okay. Yeah, applying the same logic. So let me see, where would be a natural point from the beginning of the form, maybe to beyond shadow? Would that be, or is that too far in?
You want to practice? I'm not sure.
Tell you what, Willem's going to sit down and have a rest because he's just practiced. And I'm going to do the beginning of the form with you. And Willem is going to help me out here. And he's going to say, okay, stop. So we'll do a section.
Well, I don't know your students too well, but I imagine they know the first half pretty well, or the first quarter at least.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you want to focus on that, or if you want to get to a part that they don't know so well.
Right. Okay, I think for continuity, that's a good point. So we'll do the first section once, and that just kind of walks us in. And then we'll stop, we'll take a moment, and we'll take a section and repeat 3 times. Yeah? So we'll go to, where's the first, what would be the first half? That would be to
Immortals, kind of.
8 Immortals. Okay, follow me, please. I know the way. Right, ready? Heels together, we lengthen up and relax. Take a breath and calm. And we begin. Wrong hand, sorry, my fault, that's Phoenix, try again. Sorry, that's a bit like me on the piano last night, actually. Right, ready? Check posture. Relaxed. So, Immortals crossing the sea. Let's begin. We scoot and left hand under. Parting the sea. And this is Immortals crossing the sea. Good. Okay, and rest. So that's just easing us in. We'll go then from here to, where shall we go to? Fishing toad? Yeah, let's go from here. Villain's going, I don't know. Let's go from here to fishing toad. Okay, so we have done our 8 Immortals and step. Okay, are we ready? So we turn, come in, and step. Bending floor stroke. Beyond shadow. 2 Immortals. So we pluck and step to the side and pluck and turn. Feed the weight back. And here is your fishing toad. So I'm going to come closer. Here we go. So we step, step, and step down. Good. And is this still part of fishing toad, Villain, is it?
Yep.
Keep going, turn. And up.
Yep.
And rest. Okay, so let's look at that section a couple of times more. Yeah? Um, Dylan, would you like to do it once and then we'll tag team?
Sure.
Okay. So he doesn't get cold.
Want me to go from the beginning of Eight Immortals, or you kind of went from halfway?
Oh, did I? Yes, go from the beginning of it.
Beginning of Eight Immortals. Cool. Let's start on Taming the Flood. And turn to your right corner. Bending the flower stalk. And what's this chain? Casting fishing line? No?
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Line or net?
Line. Yeah.
And Immortals cross the ocean into Beyond Shadow. Two Immortals. Just checking everybody's at the same spot. And Immortal Fishing Toad. There
Beautiful. Yeah, it's really nice. I like this way of training. Um, I think actually it might be quite nice. We'll do it next week and we'll maybe just take the whole class for the Immortals and actually start from the beginning. Not, I mean, you guys, you're well aware, as Willem says, the beginning of the form is pretty good, but it's just a nice way to practice the form. And a bit like when I was playing last night, I really learned quite a lot from that. Willem was saying, just play a few bars, just play the first 4 bars, and I'm like, I don't know what a bar is. It just, as the dancer I would have, but trying to be a musician, I was like, ah. So it's very, very useful to be able to jump in and out of a form and not necessarily starting at the beginning. As a teacher, often people say, you know that bit. And I'm like, I have no clue what you're talking about. Sometimes because maybe they're not being very clear and that's the reason they're asking about it, but also just to sort of take a section out of the form without putting it in context is really quite difficult. So by training context, by jumping into a section, I think it actually makes us a lot more confident and aware of the whole form as its constituent parts, as well as just the flow from one thing to the other. That's just the way I'm starting to look at it at the moment, from last night's experience. Maybe you feel differently, but let's see. So let's do that section again. So we'll do it from Taming the Flood up to and including the fishing toad, Immortals fishing toad. Okay. So we have done 1 and 2. Okay, so 8 Immortals crossing the sea. Bending the floor stroke. casting the fishing line, leaping over the ocean,
That's the one.
beyond shadow. To Immortals, we pluck right and turn to the back and step to the left. We pluck left, turning to the left, right hand opens and follows. Lead the weight back. And I'm going to come closer for fishing toad. So we step, step, and rest. Good. Now, a weird thing happens. I don't know if you're experiencing it. I do sometimes. If you repeat something enough, it starts to lose. You start to lose the grip you had on it, and it starts to feel somewhat, I don't know, what's the word? Abstract, hey? Yeah. So a bit like if you say your name or you say a word again and again and again, it stops sounding like a word and just starts sounding like a sound. And I think that's very valuable actually in repetition, because you want to repeat and repeat and repeat until it no longer feels like the thing you thought it was. And therefore you're kind of cracking it open, and you're cracking your awareness and your understanding open, so that you're open to the possibilities of feeling it, experiencing it, getting to grips with it in a more abstract way, that you're actually, you're getting it rather than just using it like a word. It's like, oh right, you do this now. So let's do it together one more time, that wee section, and then we will do the whole form to finish. Okay. You want to do it that side?
Sure.
Okay. So we'll start from our, what's this called? Parting the waves?
Taming the flood.
Taming the flood. My apologies. Yeah. Okay. On the other side. And good. Keep going, sorry. Good. And rest. Good. Okay. So I know we're being a little bit cheeky with time because we've only got 5 minutes, 4 minutes maybe. But let's just have a go at the whole form now and see if we can tie that section back in. So this is a nice way for you to train at home if you like. By all means, you can practice the whole form. It's very good. It gives you continuity and flow and familiarity. But taking a little section, even one step, and just repeating, 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 you may find that actually you're getting somewhere with it, more familiar, or at least if you feel something's wrong, you can get to grips with what part of it doesn't feel right. And then, of course, you can ask in class, can you clarify this? Can you show me that again? So yeah, we don't want to drill mistakes into us or deviations into us, but sometimes actually it's just inevitable, and that's fine because you'll know if it doesn't feel right. So your body will keep going, actually, that bit doesn't feel right. And then when you finally get it worked out, it'll feel amazing. Okay, let's go from the beginning to the end. Should we try it together?
Sure.
Okay, I'll be your foreground person and Dylan will be your full body person. And yeah. Hello, push. Hello. Hello, gorgeous. Yes, good girl. Okay. Ready? Ah. Here's doing Tai Chi.
Yep.
Here you go. Doing good. Sorry, I got distracted. I was thinking, don't hurt the cat. Sorry. Yeah. Tai Chi, the art of not kicking your cat. Yeah.
And that was bar 17. Yeah, it was really good.
We've just been practicing on the standing balance today, so let's just focus on that. Good. And release. Lovely. Good. So that just shows how easy it is to get distracted. But I'm sure we're all aware of that, aren't we? Very good. I hope you enjoyed that. And we're only a couple of minutes over, so I think you did really well. I hope you enjoyed this little taste of taking a section and repeating. Of course, we do that as we're learning it, because that's all we've got. As we learn it, we're just doing that little section. But I think it's nice, especially to add a few steps together and just do them in a loop. I think there's definitely something to that, that I'd like to work on myself more. But again, doing the whole form, isn't it nice afterwards? It's kind of like a palate cleanser, and you just feel, oh, there. And hopefully you feel a little bit more certain of the part that we worked on. Thank you very much, Philip, for that, for the music tuition that has helped with my Tai Chi tuition. He's coming over to the other side. Let's finish, please, folks, with a little bit of ragdoll movement. 100 ailments go away. Good. And relax down. And just stand for a moment and listen to your body. Listen to the cat drinking water. And let's gather our hands up to cover center. Hugging your elbows gently in. Breathing into your belly. And feeling your energy is stronger. Folks, thank you so much for joining me today. I had plans to do standing practice with you, but we did a tiny bit. But please do keep going with your standing practice, because it does pay dividends. Thank you so much for our guest teacher. It's just lovely to have a different perspective and a different body shape performing, and a bit of input is always very welcome. So thank you. The salute. And thank you very much. Keep practicing. You're doing so well. And I look forward to seeing you next time.